Alright, guys. Just got done watching Monday Night Raw, which took forever. That is a long show. What'd you think about that?
Dude, I'm telling you guys now, like, it's been a while since I've watched wrestling. This has been like the early 2000s. And it was just like kind of like a new experience for me, seeing everything over. But it's crap. It's crap at best. So many of the fights were just like, or the matches rather, they were just subpar. They were terrible.
Well, I would look up. I guess I should try to at least get the results because we didn't write anything down. Honestly, we didn't really watch a lot of it. I mean, it was on, but we weren't really watching it, like paying attention to it. Off the top of my head, the only thing I can think of that was good was the New Day versus Y2AJ. That was pretty much it.
Yo, that was actually, I really like that. I really like New Day. Like I said, it's been a while since I watched, but I really do like New Day. But yeah, Y2AJ, you know, and at the end, when good old Y2K turned on AJ Styles, that was a really unexpected twist. Like,
yeah, that wasn't bad. Oh, let's see here. I want to get the results just so we can go through this properly. It starts off with Shane McMahon. He comes out. He talks about how he wants to take over Raw and all that stuff, and then Vince comes out and says that he was a mistake. And this actually wasn't too bad. Vince seems to be more senile and crazy than usual, which is a nice touch, actually. But yeah, Shane McMahon is back in WWE. I'm really not sure how I feel about that. It doesn't really make a lot of sense why he's there. And I know they're trying to just force him into the story, but it's not that great in my opinion. It is cool to see him back. Don't get me wrong, the guy did take a lot of crazy bumps, but at the same time, I wasn't like a huge Shane McMahon fan after I found out how he was behind the scenes, kind of wanting to create stories for himself. He wasn't really the best at creating stories for the wrestlers, but he could write his own stuff. So that was always kind of like an iffy subject with me. However, we did get some awesome highlight reel footage of Shane McMahon doing some crazy stunts and things like that. And this was so hilarious because I'm watching this and I'm thinking nothing of it because I've been watching wrestling so long. Like a lot of the stuff that people would consider gay doesn't come across like that to me. But he saw the Bronco Buster, and he lost it.
Okay, look. The thing with the Bronco Buster, and if there's any, gay or homosexual, whichever you'd like to be referred to, if there's any gay viewers watching, then I have nothing against gay people. Y'all are people just like everyone else. But this is like the Bronco Buster. Like, take a second and look it up if you don't know right off the top of your head what I'm referring to. But basically, like, the rundown, you get put right up against a turnbuckle in a seated position, and another man runs full speed and just blasts his genitalia in your face. Like, now,
it's true. That's exactly what it is.
And like I said, I have no problem with gay people, but I don't think that it is humane at all for anyone, whether it be girl or guy, animal, like anything. Like, you don't run and put your genitalia in somebody's mouth.
I feel like girls have done the move before, but it started with X-Pac as far as I know, and then I think Rey Mysterio did it, Shane did it. It's like, when you're going to take someone's move, why on earth would you take that? When I always hated that move.
Like, that just ridiculous. Seems painful.
Yeah.
More painful for the person that is doing it, not the person that is getting humiliated.
No, I'm not a fan of that, but it made me think, like, there is a lot of gay stuff in wrestling. So, of course, I had to look up the stink face, and then I had to show you the freaking viscera dry humping, I think Simon Dean.
He was like, that viscera move.
That was bad, man. Like, there's no excuse for that one.
That one was just like complete, total domination. Like, that was complete rape. That's what it is. I'm sorry. That was like forcible rape, and I think that the police should start to investigate that. Like, can we open that case, or are we just gonna forget it that like that never happened?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with the Bronco Buster. You can come up with like a reasonable explanation, because what the guy's supposed to be doing is jumping on the other guy's chest, even though it doesn't really look like
he is riding his face.
And then with the viscera move, that's just straight up raping a dude. I mean, there's no explanation for that.
Yo, okay, so I do want to skip ahead a little bit. Actually, first, before I do that, I do have like a few comments on Shane McMahon. Me personally, up until they showed him doing the Bronco Buster, I love this dude. Like,
yeah, that was like, a cool video.
Oh, the retrospect video. Like, if you have a chance, like, please make sure you look that up. But it was a great video. And you know, overall, like, the history that he has, he's got some amazing. He's definitely got some amazing matches that he's had. He's got some really memorable moments, and you know, like, it made me feel, just like in that short moment, it made me feel like I had been watching wrestling like that whole entire time. Like I said, it's been a good maybe like 12 years since I really watched it. I watch it here and there, but it was mainly just like on as like a background thing. But yeah, like, I really did like Shane. But one thing that he said was that in WrestleMania he was definitely going to beat The Undertaker, and like immediately I'm like, hell no. Like, hell no. Like I said, I like Shane, but The Undertaker is a legend. That's like walking up to like the founding fathers and saying, I'm gonna write the Constitution.
I mean, Shane is in this match because he's probably gonna take a crazy bump, and that's it. He's gonna fall off the top of the cell or something like that. The cool thing about Shane is he says stuff that is like too true. Like talking bad about the product, saying stuff that all the fans have been saying, and getting cheered for it. It's the company's basically acknowledging that their product sucks, and he's saying that these guys who have great talent, they're not getting pushed. Guys who have no talent are getting pushed, and really the only person they're pushing is Roman Reigns. So he's talking about him. And it's just like, yeah, everybody's been saying that forever. The company knows we've been saying it. They just don't care. Like, I don't know what to make of this. It doesn't make any sense what their goal is, especially if Shane loses to The Undertaker, which he absolutely should. But if he loses, then it's like, so everything stays crappy? Like, what does this mean storyline-wise? And also, I mean, you could do something with the McMahons forming up. It was all a big trick or something like that, but I really don't know what the purpose of that would be either. I mean, it's just a really convoluted storyline that they're just throwing out there because it's WrestleMania and everybody's hurt. Cena's hurt, Rollins is hurt, all these top guys, Orton. So they need stuff like this, and I mean, it's cool that Shane's willing to do it, but at the same time, it really doesn't make sense storyline-wise, and you can tell they're kind of just throwing this out last-ditch effort, but yeah, it was interesting to see Shane again, and I have to mention those horrible punches.
Yo, let me tell y'all.
Golly, when he's fighting the security guards. Oh my goodness.
Now, don't get me wrong. It was a dope moment for him to be saying, you know, like, I'm fired up, don't mess with me. Mm-hmm. And then to just take on all, 5 security guards?
Yeah.
But let me tell y'all, okay, in the hood, okay, this nigga would have had no chance. Who throws punches like that? Like, I know it's WWE and everything, cool, Perfectly fine. But who the hell throws fake punches like that?
That hand speed, man. He's got those moves. I remember Dave Meltzer saying specifically something to the effect of Shane McMahon has the worst punches in wrestling. That was absolutely true. In fact, I was waiting for him to punch the security guard just to see it again. And my goodness, those punches are terrible. It's hilarious. It really is. Then we had Kevin Owens defeated Neville in a non-title match. I didn't really watch this. It was tough to pay attention to.
Alright, look. He didn't really watch it, but I watched it. Alright. And just like Kevin Owens, first off, let me tell you. Again, you know, coming back into wrestling and watching and everything, I hate that nigga. Like, I hate him with a burning passion, bro. Like, he's just like way too cocky. It's basically like it's like he was just kind of thrown in there because like something in the contract said like, all right, well, I'm gonna be like.
Well, the purpose is he's a bad guy. He acts that way so you want to see him get beat up.
But still, though, like even with his fight, man, in the hood. Again, I'm going back to the hood, but in the hood, never would have had a chance at all. And one thing, who was it that he fought again? I lost my train of thought.
Neville.
Alright, Neville, alright. I forget what the move was called right off the top of my head, but both of them, the original, the backflip pin, please, like, if y'all, like, leave down in the comments what that was, because I can't remember right off. Yeah. That one and the second one, oh my gosh, both of those should have definitely worked. Like, I mean, and then, you know, how he won, it was trash.
Yeah, he did the roll-up, held the tights. With the red arrow, it is a finishing move, but he hit it from the second rope.
True.
So he didn't have as much momentum for the impact.
But still...
That's how they explain it. It's all very dumb.
Oh, but I am glad to see that Kevin Owens, in the end, and Kevin, if you watching this, I'm glad you got jumped, dog. Like, I'm glad you got jumped. I can't stand it.
Who jumped him? Sami Zayn came back.
Yeah.
I wasn't too excited about that. I mean, I don't really watch NXT, so I'm probably missing a lot of storylines because I know that he's kind of been feuding. But yeah, Sami Zayn came out. He seemed to get a great reaction. That's another thing. The crowd in Chicago was hot for like everything they did tonight. Most of it, anyway. So Dean Ambrose comes out, or Summer Rae defeated Brie Bella. That was pretty nothing.
That was terrible. It was the exact same thing. Brie Bella was distracted, and exact same thing with the Kevin Owens match. Summer Rae just literally saw an open opportunity and she took it.
Well, Lana came out, the Russian girl.
Yeah, and I'm still waiting for that to be explained. Because I know the commentators were talking about.
Well, you're never watching this again.
Oh no, hell no. But yeah, the commentators. I actually will check back into that. But the commentators were explaining that there was just some type of animosity between those two, being Lana and. Shit, I lost my train of thought again.
I think it was Brie Bella.
Yes, Brie Bella. And there was some type of animosity between those two, but when Lana came out, Brie Bella just like stopped dead in her tracks, just stared at her for a little bit, and then, you know, Summer Rae came in and snagged the pin.
I honestly have no idea what's going on with this. What bothered me was Lana hit a face buster. It's like, does every woman in wrestling have to have the face buster as a finishing move?
Yo.
Just in WWE alone, look at that. But I mean, it's also in TNA and other places. But a face buster, that's got to be like the easiest move ever, and that's why so many of them do it. I have no other explanation for that either. So, Dean Ambrose came out. He talked for a while. I thought this was okay. He goes back and forth with Triple H. And what did you think seeing Triple H? Not only seeing him again, but he's the champion.
My first reaction, when I watched it a few weeks ago, And it was the same when I seen that Chris Jericho was still doing this. Like, my first reaction was like, these niggas are still relevant. Like, it's been like a good 12 years, and I can't believe like these dudes are still relevant in today. But honestly, though, seeing Triple H, it was kind of cool. It was just a lot of nostalgia that like immediately happened, because growing up, like that was the hot thing. Like, Triple H was that nigga. He was the person to beat and everything. So seeing him, it was definitely cool. Honestly, I may watch WrestleMania that may be the last time, but I may watch WrestleMania just for that, because I do like Dean Ambrose. He's kind of crazy, and I like that. I definitely like that he's crazy. He's kind of like a dormant psychopath, I feel.
Yeah, that's like his whole gimmick is he's supposed to be kind of insane, but what I remember is these guys talked forever. And I asked you specifically, I said, are you getting invested in this? And you were like, no, I'm trying, but no. And I feel like that says a lot. Like, people have to actively try to get invested in these storylines. Like, it's a freaking job to watch this, which is, says a lot about the product. So then it's Sheamus, Rusev, and King Barrett defeated Dolph Ziggler in an elimination match. We didn't watch that at all. I couldn't tell you anything about that. Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks beat Tamina and Naomi via submission. And I don't think either of us really watched that either, but I do have to say that Becky Lynch has no butt. It's very oddly shaped. Like, we've talked about this before. Like, she has negative butt. And a lot of the girls have that too. Like, Charlotte especially has no butt. She can be wrestling in like the skimpiest outfits, and Charlotte has no butt. It's so crazy. But Becky Lynch, the girl is beautiful, but her butt is just not there. I don't know if that's like a genetic thing or what, but it's pretty sad.
My thing with that, like you said, like, it's like a negative butt. Like, there's nothing there. And like, I'm one of the people that looks for the beauty in everyone. Yeah,
and she is beautiful.
She's absolutely beautiful. But like, when you look at her from like a side view, it's like you get a dent in your door in your car. Like, how it's like perfect like this, and then the dent's here, and it comes back out. That's what it reminds me of. And also, like, I don't know, like,
I mean, I'm trying to figure out if it's those weird shorts she wears.
I don't think it's the shorts. I don't think it's
it doesn't look like it's the shorts, because sometimes you can tell, like, it takes a lot of work for shorts to make your butt look that bad. So I don't think it's the shorts, but yeah, it's just, I don't know, something I've noticed about her. But she's perfect besides all that.
Oh, yes.
The New Day defeated Y2AJ.
That was great.
The tag titles. That was pretty awesome. Everybody looked good here. New Day has been the best thing on this show for a while now. I mean, they're just super entertaining, and honestly, that's my favorite part of Raw.
Oh, yeah. Them niggas is funny.
Yeah, they're pretty great. And then Jericho beat up AJ afterwards and ripped up, or he didn't rip it up, he like stuck a Y2AJ shirt in AJ's mouth, which kind of shocked me that they already made Y2AJ merchandise and then broke them up like 3 weeks later. Reminds me of something TNA would do, but yeah, the turn I didn't see coming. I thought that was cool. AJ Styles being in WWE is pretty cool. The guy's making a lot of money. I wish he didn't leave New Japan to do that. But at the same time, I've heard him say before that he wanted to retire in 5 years, and this is the way to do it. So that was that. Kalisto defeated Tyler Breeze. We went to go get food.
Yeah, shout out to Cookout. If y'all are having a bad day, just go eat Cookout, okay? And y'all are gonna laugh at me when I tell you this about my milkshake choice, but I didn't get it this time just because I wasn't really feeling it. But a blueberry M&M milkshake. It sounds terrible, okay? I know it does, but just try it. It'll change your life. It's life-changing, okay?
Dude, you also need to talk about how Big E was acting dead in that New Day match.
Oh, yo! Alright, check this out,
because I really liked that observation.
Check this out. Okay, so I know that you got to take some time and you got to act it out, but sometimes the acting is too good. And Big E, he was down. He was about to get pinned, and literally niggas like this, knocked out, lifeless body, okay? And out of nowhere, it's just 1, 2 on that, still lifeless up to the 2 count. That 3 count, what's up, nigga? You know what I mean? He just, I just didn't understand it because he just came up out of nowhere. It's
I believe your exact words were, "If you're dead, be dead."
Yeah, that's what it was. It was if you're dead, then be dead. Don't let it. You know what I'm saying? Don't.
Yeah, and I mean, watching so much wrestling, I don't think anything about this type of stuff. My reaction was maybe he's playing possum, and they did go on to win the match. But I can see your point. 1 minute they're dead, and then the next minute they're not dead.
When I say dead, I mean that nigga was knocked out, lifeless body. Mm-hmm. No, it didn't even look like he was breathing. Which, I mean, that was great act. I love that. That was a great acting job on that part. But, literally, just the way, and if you go back and, really look at it, then you'll see what I'm talking about. But it kind of reminded me more of something that Undertaker would do. If he got pinned, he's just laying down completely like he's dead because he's the dead man. Yeah. And then, out of nowhere, he's just got life again. That's what it reminded me of.
Everybody's Undertaker now. So we had Ryback versus Curtis Axel. I think we had just got back when that came on. So jumping ahead to the main event, which we were both grateful for because the show dragged on and on and on. I mean, 3 hours and 15 minutes, dude. That's so crazy. I was trying to do homework while this was on because I can't give this my undivided attention for 3 hours and 15 minutes. I'd have to be crazy to do that. I don't know how people watch this every week, especially without DVRs. We don't have a DVR here. So we did have to sit and watch it.
And we had to watch it live, okay?
Yeah.
And in order...
I can't do it again.
I said before, I tried to do bits and pieces before in previous weeks. But I said, I'm going to sit down and watch the whole thing. After about the first hour, I just lost it. And really what I really lost it after was after they done that retrospective memoir or whatever you want to say of Shane McMahon, and then he hits the Bronco Buster. That's when I really lost the interest because, like I said, hell.
That was too funny. Alright, so the main event was Dean Ambrose versus Bray Wyatt. This actually didn't seem like it was too bad from what I saw of it. At the end, the Wyatt family attacks Dean Ambrose, so he loses, which we saw coming. And like you said, this guy is always getting beat up, which is true. But so is Roman Reigns. And the people boo him. So it's actually been effective in getting Dean Ambrose over, I think. The guy always loses and he's still getting over. People love him. Which is a huge sign that you push that guy that the people love, but whatever.
Yeah, he's definitely, like I said, like I would watch WrestleMania just for the fight between Dean Ambrose and Triple H. Like I said, it's for me, it's this nostalgia of seeing Triple H still relevant at this day and time, but at the same time, it is it's really cool to see like Dean Ambrose's character. I really like the whole gimmick that he has, and I really think that like if the WWE pushes him and just maybe like creates some type of catastrophe with him, or just shakes things up a little bit and have like that crazy person be the champion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like it's a refreshing character. I feel like. I mean, with a PG product, there's only so far you can go with certain characters, but I feel like this is one guy you can push as being kind of a crazy tough guy in a PG era.
Oh, yeah.
But he gets beat up by the Wyatt family. Triple H comes out. He has a stare down with Bray Wyatt. People went nuts for that. That was pretty cool. But of course he leaves, and then Triple H is going to teach Dean Ambrose some respect or something. And
cleared off the whole announcer's table, too. And then, Triple H gets back in the ring, and you're sitting there, and you're like, Triple H is, like, really trying to kill this man. Like, but then, Dean Ambrose, what was it that he...
The Dirty Deeds. He hits the Dirty Deeds. And then he holds up the belt, and then that was pretty much it. I mean, people were going pretty crazy for Ambrose, and he's a great character who deserves to be pushed. I don't know if I would say Dean Ambrose is the guy, like the next Steve Austin or John Cena or something like that. I don't know if he's that, but he's definitely somebody who deserves to be pushed, and he's way more qualified than Roman Reigns. Like, what do you think about that? Like, you have a guy, let's say you have a guy who wrestled on the indies, making no money, he just did it because he loved wrestling. And let's say this guy did that for 10 years, okay? He finally makes it to the WWE, and then this other guy comes up who, like, he played football, his uncle's a wrestler, he was never in the indies wrestling, he never grinded his way. He just gets picked because of who he's related to. He's not as good in the ring. He's not as good on the mic, and he's instantly pushed higher than anybody else just because of looks and stuff like that, and not really on talent.
Well,
like, what do you think? Like, does that sound fair to you?
Well,
who would you be behind more in that fight? The underdog guy who had to work hard for everything, or this guy?
Definitely, I'd be behind the underdog.
Exactly. It's a classic story, like, and everybody knows that.
I will say this, and this is just like real world knowledge. First off, I definitely want to give a shout out to him for playing football, because I am a college athlete, just in case. Oh, bro, I didn't tell you, but that's kind of how it is in life. Like, there's people that don't go to school, which there's nothing wrong with that. And they work their way from the bottom all the way up to the top. Mm-hmm. And that's definitely, I love that story. Like, I love to see a company that was founded by somebody that doesn't have a college education because maybe they didn't have the money to go to school, or they just decided school wasn't for them.
Right.
But at the same time, it is kind of like, it's about who you know. When you graduate college, when you come out of high school, even if you drop out of high school, kids stay in school, please, because in today's age, it's going to be so much easier to get a good paying job. But
this is a little bit different, because it's like football. You have to have some talent to make it in football, regardless of who you know. And in wrestling, I would give you a skill, man.
I play college football. Okay, that's not true. I promise. But now, look.
Are you serious?
No, seriously.
Well, I would give you something, like, if the guy could talk but couldn't wrestle, or vice versa. I would give you one talent, but he has zero talents. The people don't like him even.
Well,
so why are you continuing to push this guy?
Literally, dude, it's all about who you know. Like that's what it comes down to. That's how it is in life, and that's how it is in WWE. Like,
it's less about who he knows and how. Honestly, I don't know. I would say looks because that's the only thing I can think of, but I honestly don't know why they're doing it. It's just like a vendetta WWE has. Like, if you don't like a guy, we're going to force him on you until you have to like him.
I mean, maybe it's a thing where they're like, okay, well, they hate this nigga now, and they probably gonna hate him later.
But you're that's familiar with John Cena,
right? But I mean, like, if you think about it, it is kind of like a little a mind game almost. Like, if you hate this nigga this week, you're probably still gonna hate him on down the line, but you're still gonna watch on down the line to see who the newcomer is. You're not like you're gonna see, okay, well, this nigga's trash. Mm-hmm. And then you're gonna be like, all right, well, maybe I'll watch next week. Maybe he'll get his ass beat and they start pushing somebody else in, or maybe not. Maybe they're just like, all right, well, this is the guy. This is the new guy. Like,
that actually, see, what you're saying makes too much sense because that sounds awesome. Who wouldn't want to watch that? Like, who's the next guy gonna be? Maybe this guy just gets beat up and then he's gone. But they don't do things logically like that, man. So anyway, to wrap this up, Raw was really tough to sit through. Just really hard to get interested in any of this. And I'm not saying that to hate on it. If it was good, I would come on here and say, man, this was a good show, like, and be as unbiased as humanly possible. But this show was very boring. For me, someone who knows what's going on roughly and the characters, I didn't like it. You didn't like it. It's not a very entertaining television product, and that's really it at the end of the day. So, any closing remarks? If you were a wrestler, your finisher would be the Bronco Buster. We've established.
Hell no, cuz. Hell no. Look, all right. In closing, first off, I want to thank you guys and definitely Daniel here for letting me actually come on to the channel and giving me a chance to put my 2 cents in, because I never do anything except for practice and schoolwork. That's literally my life.
But you did have to watch Raw to do it.
Yeah, I had to watch 3 hours of Raw. But it definitely, like, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you let me come on, Daniel. And hey, stay gold, America. That's Bernie Mac line. You catch that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So leave your thoughts on the show in the comments, and we'll talk to you later.